to me. So good to me. Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me. So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yeah, how it's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no no telling where I'll be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome back to another edition of Bible Basics. I'm your teacher this evening. My name is Shahad Amath, and the title of the class this evening is "The Conclusion of the Whole Matter." Right? The conclusion of the whole matter. So let's get into it. So I did a little Google search, right? What is the meaning of life? Just to see what came up, right? I'll read it for you. It says, there is no single true meaning of life, as it is a deeply personal and individual question with diverse answers across philosophy, psychology, and religion. Some believe life's meaning is subjective, found by the individual through personal choices and experiences. Others, particularly within some religious and philosophical frameworks, propose objective meanings, such as knowing and glorifying a divine being or achieving human flourishing through virtue. In positive psychology, a meaningful life involves a sense of purpose, personal growth, and contributing to something larger than oneself. So this is what society has landed on for the purpose and the meaning of life, right? To fulfill your desires, fulfill what's important to you, what's meaningful to you. Life is about finding and achieving your purpose, right? You. It's all about you. But we understand that's not what the scriptures say. And we also understand that that's not how man has survived all of these years on this planet, right? We had to work together. So it couldn't be just about you. But let's see what the Bible says, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Go ahead and read that when you have it.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
This is the conclusion of the whole matter, right? The matter of what? The matter of life. Read.
Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Fear God and keep his commandments, right? Read.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So you're going to be judged for every work, everything that you've done. You're going to be judged, right? And there's a category: good works, right, and evil works. So how do you know the difference, right? Well, the good works are the works that are the result of the fear that you have for the Most High and keeping His commandments, right? Those are the good works. And the evil works, whether they be out in the open or whether they be in secret, because the Most High He can see everything, right? Like the scriptures say, His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So you're not going to get away from Him. You're not hiding anything from Him, right? So you're going to be judged for the good works and for the evil works, right? Whether they're hidden or not. And the bar is to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. So that is the whole duty of man. That is the whole purpose of man, certainly an Israelite man, right? Is to fear the Most High and to keep His word, keep His commandments, keep His statutes, to do what He has commanded us to do right here in this very book, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 10. So at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that judgment that's going to happen come judgment time, right? And all that matters is whether your works were good or whether your works were evil. And you want to hope, not just hope, but you want to work towards working off all of those evil works, right? So that you have an overwhelming amount of good works to hopefully overshadow, the evil that you've done, hopefully most of it in ignorance, right? Let's start at chapter 10, verse 12. We'll read 12 and 13.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, What doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God,
Here it is again. This is what does God require of us, right? Read.
to walk in all his ways,
To fear the Most High, to walk in His ways, right?
and to love him,
And to love Him is to keep His commandments. Read.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul,
With all thy heart and with all thy soul. That's the same thing that Christ said, right? Read.
to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
This is how you do good. This is your good works, right? To serve the Lord, right? It's the five verbs that are that make up your works, right? That make up the divine covenant of life, right? Fear the Most High, walk in all His ways, to love Him, keep the commandments, to serve Him, and to keep the commandments, right? Those are the five verbs that we're going to be judged on, right? And this is what we're going to be judged on. This is what that whole duty is, right? Is to do these things to serve the Most High. That is the whole duty, right? It's as best as we can to do the Most High's will that's found here in this Bible, right? This is our walk of life. It's in here. So you're not going to find it out in the world. You're not going to find it from some doctor or some TikTok star or some YouTuber. It's here in the Bible, right? And anyone who speaks other than this is steering you to a path of evil, right? Evil works and not the good works, right? Let's go to grab Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. And the fear, so the fear that is talking about, right? It's a reverent awe, right? It's the type of reverence that you have that reshapes your behavior, right? You should be more decisive and carefully obedient, right? It's the same type of reverence that a wife has or should have in righteousness for her husband, right? It's not fear of getting her butt whooped, right? It's not fear of physical violence, right? But fear of the power that husband has over his wife, right? Fear that if she goes against him, she'll be going against Scripture. She'll be going against the Most High, and she'll be punished, right? And because you fear Him, you fear that divine order. You reverend that divine order. It's the same type of fear that you have for fire, for wind, for water. You know, in small doses, when it's small, right? Like you light a match, you can put out a match flame between the tips of your fingers, right? But when it's your house that's on fire, when it's your car that's on fire, or when it's a structural fire, right? It's out of your control, and you have fear for that. You have a reverence for that because you understand that fire could consume you. That wind could knock you down and blow you away, right? It could pull you up into the air and drop you from thin air, and you'll die, right? Same with water, the same thing. That water is strong enough to pull you under and drown you, right? So you're not fearing a glass of water, right? But you also understand that this same very water can kill you. This same fire, this same wind can kill you, right? So you reverence its power. It's the same type of fear that we are to have for the Most High, right? And then the keep, right? That keep part is to guard. It's a hedge, right? And so the thing that you are supposed to do is make sure that you're fearing the Most High and making sure that the way that you're moving through life, you're putting up roadblocks, right, to keep out the evil. You're putting up roadblocks to keep out the temptations, right? You're studying this word daily, right? You're Your conversations are righteous, right? You're pursuing the fruits of the Spirit. You're pursuing the wisdom of the Most High that's in this book, right? And that's how you keep a hedge up, or that's how you guard against evil in your life, right? Go ahead and grab Proverbs when you have it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Con. Yeah, Yashan, my reader, is also saying there's a level of humility that comes with that fear, right? The fear is the the humility, right? Is understanding, and we're going to get to that. Is understanding that you're not in control of what you might think you're in control of, right? The amount of control that you have is minuscule compared to the amount of control that the Most High has. He's in control of everything, right? And so you have to come to this understanding, and then you have to move accordingly, right? You have to humble yourself, and you have to completely trust in the Most High, right? It's not me that can do it. It's through the Most High, right? Anything is possible. It's not that I have the ability to make anything happen. It's that through doing good works, the Most High can make it happen, right? And that's the part of humility that it takes to get there, right? Excellent point. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
The fear of the Lord, so fearing the Lord, or keeping His commandments, right? Having that reverence, that awe, that's the beginning of knowledge, right? That's the first step to unlocking the knowledge of the Most High, right? But fools, it says, fools despise wisdom and instruction, right? All the wisdom and instruction that you need is right here in this Bible. But where do people go? People go everywhere else to try to get understanding, right? To try to get wisdom, to try to get knowledge, to try to sound intelligent, smart, knowing, right? All of these things to boost their pride, to boost the way that they appear, right? To make themselves look intelligent, to make themselves look smart, because at the end of the day, people feel like, what I know is equal to how much power I have, right? And so fools will go to all of these other pseudepigrapha books, right? They'll go to all of these other different understandings, right? They'll break down things in the Bible according to their desires rather than what the Bible says, right? And these are fools, right? Because they want to do the complete opposite of what we're commanded to do, what these scriptures say. This is how you go about getting knowledge, right? It's through fearing the Most High, through keeping His commandments, through doing what He says, right? Go to Psalms 111 and verse 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do His commandments. His praise endureth forever.
So in order to get wisdom, right, which is the application of that knowledge, right, you have to fear the Most High. It couldn't be plainer here. You have to have that reverence for the Most High. When you have that reverence, right, that humility comes along with it. And what that humility does is it opens your ability to receive instruction, to receive direction, to receive understanding. Right? When you humble yourself, when you get out of the way of yourself, you're now opening the path to get the understanding from the Most High, right? By diligently studying and doing according to His word, that's how you'll begin to get that knowledge, and that's how you'll begin to get that wisdom, right? How to apply that knowledge. Job 28 and 28. So it's those who do his commandments that have that understanding, right? So you got to do his commandments if you want to understand these scriptures, if you want to be able to make sense of these scriptures, right? If you want to be able to put them together and understand the meaning and have a better understand of what it is that your purpose is, right? Go ahead when you have that.
The book of Job, chapter 28 and verse 28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
So when you fear the Most High, right, that's when you'll unlock the ability to gain this wisdom, right? And then the application is departing from evil, right? Once you really put up this hedge around you, right, to protect you from evil, once you really start moving in a way where you truly hate evil, right, when you can't stand to be around ratchet friends, when you're not really interested in listening to that ratchet music anymore, when you don't want to entertain, you're tired of entertaining different camps, right, different videos, different teachings, right, the foolishness. When you're kind of all over that, it's like maturing, right? Maturing in the spirit. When you've gotten to the point where you're tired of the foolishness, right? And you have a strong desire to not only get away from evil, but to make sure that you're building up hedges to keep evil away. That's when that wisdom starts coming, right? And that's when that understanding starts coming, right? All this learning, all this understanding that you're starting to gain, right? What's good with having all of this wisdom, having all of this knowledge, having all of this understanding, if you're not applying it to your life, if you're not using this knowledge, this information to make your life better, right? To make your loved ones' lives better, right? To strengthen and build up your community, right? To build up that hedge, that keep, right? The keep the commandments, the hedge is building up your community, right? So that you're able to have people around you that you can trust who are keeping the commandments, who you don't have to worry about spiritually, who are on the same narrow path that you are on, who are just as committed to doing the works and fearing the Most High as you are. That's part of the commandments is building up the community around you, right? So that community can be a hedge, can be a protection to you, your family, and others, right? That's why it's important to find a community, to find people that you can dwell with who are on the same page as you, who are just as committed to doing and keeping this Bible as you are, right? Don't be an individualite. That's not in the Bible, right? You have to get out there and apply the wisdom and the knowledge to find your community, find your people. Proverbs, when you got it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate.
So this is how you start moving when you hate evil, right? When you hate pride, when you hate arrogancy, when you hate that evil way, when you hate a fraud or difficult to deal with person, right? When you can't stand to be around that type of energy anymore, that's when that fear is starting to manifest itself within you, right? And the way that what this actually looks like, what it translates to in your mind is checking. You have to check yourself, right? And the way that you check yourself is by auditing your speech, right? Making sure that the things that are coming out of your mouth are righteous, making sure that the things that are coming out of your mouth are pleasing to the Most High, right? That's the first audit. You have to check your pride, right? You have to unlock and open that humility box, right? and you have to set it on top of you have to close up the pride blocks, right? Close it up, tape it up, put it on the ground, and then you got to move that humility box, set that on top of the pride box, open it up, right? Bend the flaps down to make sure that it stays open as much as possible, so that you can start to receive, right, that wisdom, that understanding, that instruction from the Most High, right? You have to put away your pride. You have to practice agreeability, right? You have to practice being agreeable. What does that look like, right? I can be a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Those that know me probably have a bunch of words that's popping up in their heads right now, right? But there's something specific I'm looking for. I can be particular at times about certain things, right? And the thing that I have to practice is not to jump into my particularities, right? But take a step back and say, you know what? There's no harm in this not happening for me. There's no harm in it not going my way this time. It's all right, right? It's not hurting anybody. Everyone else is entitled to their feelings, their opinions. They're entitled to their particularities, and it doesn't always have to go my way, and that's fine, right? You have to practice being agreeable within righteousness, right? So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6, right? And we're gonna see how having this fear informs the culture, right? Deuteronomy 6, and you can start from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Read.
That thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, and to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, or Salakia, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy day may be prolonged.
So the days are going to be prolonged if you, your sons, and your sons' sons, basically your whole line keeps the commandments forever, right? That's how you prolong your days, right? Read.
Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Read.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Read.
And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart.
This is a commandment that we've heard from the beginning, right? To keep the commandments. It's never changed. It's never deviated from that. To this day, we are commanded to keep the commandments, right? It's never been done away with. And this is how you gain favor with the Most High. This is how you extend your days, right? Go ahead and read.
Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou riseth up.
This is how you start to build a strong culture, right? It all starts with teaching the children, right? Because those children, as a children, it is they are most malleable, right? This is the time where they're like sponges, right? And so you want to teach them the good things, so that's what sticks. So that's what sticks with them. That's what resonates with them. That's how they organize their life. These are the things that they're going to use that become the characteristics of who they are, right? As an adult, right? So you want to teach the children, because at the end of the day, it's the children that's going to carry on the community. Right, it's the children that are going to pick up where you left off, right? So you want to inform them in righteousness. You want them to to also learn and know these commandments so that they will continue not only to do them, but to teach them to their children, right? And that's how you build culture, right? Read.
Verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates.
Sirach 19 and 18. So you're supposed to it should be clear physically, right? When people observe you, when you're being observed, it should be clear that you are one that keeps the commandments. It should be clear that you are one that is holy or set apart. There should be a clear distinction between how you move, keeping the commandments, and how everyone else doesn't move, right? Not keeping the commandments. It should be a clear distinction. It should be a clear energy. There shouldn't be any confusion. You shouldn't be confused with the dope dealers, right? You shouldn't be confused with the gangbangers, right? The adulterers, the fornicators, right? People shouldn't look at you and mistakenly identify you as one of them, right? Because of the way that you move, because of the fear that you have for your father, right? Go ahead and read that when you got it. 19 and 18.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love.
Read.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
So you want a long life? Please the Most High by keeping his commandments. Read.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
There is no wisdom outside of fearing the Most High, right? That's the only way that you can get wisdom, right? These other things that are being peddled out there as wisdom are not it, right? If it doesn't line up with these scriptures, with these commandments, then what is it? What good is it, right? Is it going to lead you to eternal salvation? Because if it's not, then what's the purpose of it, right? That can't be wisdom. Read.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
Is
and
keeping the commandments. Read.
And the knowledge of his omnipotency.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 20.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 20. And when thy son asketh thee in the time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand.
This is our history. This is our cultural history. This is the history of our foremothers and forefathers. This is what they went through. They were slaves to the Pharaoh of Egypt, right? And they suffered hard bondage. And they cried out to our God and said, save us. And that's what he did. The Father of everything, the God of everything, right? He saved us from the Pharaoh. He set us free from our bondage in Egypt. And this is something that needs to be taught and remembered from generation to generation, right? This is a commandment. It's a commandment for us to teach our children this, to teach our children our history so that they know where we came from, so that they know how to get to where we're supposed to go, right? Read.
22. And the Lord showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he swore unto our forefathers.
Read.
And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day.
Read.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he commanded us.
We've always been commanded to keep the commandments, right? We've always been commanded to do his will, to do his word, right? Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. It's clear that keeping the commandments, keeping the word of the Most High, doing his will, right? It's clear that is not easy, right? The Bible doesn't say anywhere that this walk is easy, right? In fact, it says, if thou, I'm going to butcher it, right? But if you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. Prepare yourself to be tested, right? This fear, walk, love, serve, and keep, those things are not easy, right? However, there are instructions in this Bible on how it is that we are to endure, right? Let's get that. Go ahead when you got it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thine heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Read.
Cleave unto him, and depart not away.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, right? That means over everything, right? Make sure that you are making certain that you are trusting in the Most High over everything else, right? Read.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
This is something that I'm not sure a lot of people understand, right? But it's not a situation where you don't have the ability to cleave unto the Most High. You don't have the ability to focus on and do the will of the Most High, right? A lot of people, when that temptation hits, when that struggle hits, when that turmoil hits, right? They forget that they have the ability to make a choice. You have the ability to make a choice. I have the ability to make a choice every time. Right? I have the ability to make a choice that produces good works, and I have the ability to make a choice that produces evil works, right? And I always have that choice. That choice is never taken away from us, right? We have to choose to make the choice of good over evil. So it's not a situation where my hand was forced or I was overcome by temptation, or it's never out of your control. It's always in your control. You just have to decide to take control. You have to decide, you have to say to yourself, you know what? I'm not wavering. I'm not moving away from this righteousness. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter what happens to me. And we've seen all kinds of examples in these scriptures of our foremothers and our forefathers being put to death because they would not turn away from the Most High God, right? If they can do it, you can do it. They were put through much harsher things than we've been put through so far, right? Read.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
This is the part that where humility plays a big role, right? When you're being tested, right? When you're being tried, take it cheerfully. You take it cheerfully because you understand that the Most High is still dealing with you, right? He's chastising you because he still loves you, because he still believes and wants you to turn away from wickedness and to embrace righteousness, right? And that's a beautiful thing, and that's something to be pleased with. That's something to be happy about, right? That's something to be cheerful about. And it says, be patient when thou art changed to a low estate, right? When you're put through things and you lose things, you're not able to have whatever it is, right? The lifestyle that you want, the things that you desire to do, right? As long as you're alive and as long as you're still able to take breath, then be thankful. Then be completely thankful that the Most High, he's still dealing with you. He's still giving you an opportunity to do his will, right? And to better your life. Because when you do his will, he is going to bless you. He says that. says that in the Bible, right? So when things get really bad, understand that you're being tried, you're being tested, but you're right where the Most High wants you, right? Another opportunity to repent, another opportunity to turn away from evil, another opportunity to turn and do his will, right? Read.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Read.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Believe and trust in him, right? Don't take it upon yourself to figure out how you're going to get out of this financial situation that you've put yourself into. You know, don't believe that it's on you to make things better. Submit to the Most High, right? It's so much more freeing when you say, you know what, I'm just going to do the will. I'm just going to do your will, my Father, and I'm going to trust that you're going to provide. Because you know my needs, and I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm not going to stress myself out over everything else, right? I'm just going to do your will. It's so much free, right? Because now the responsibility is not on you to get yourself out of that situation. The responsibility that you have is just continue to doing his will, right? To trusting and believing on him and trusting that he's going to deliver you, whatever that delivery looks like, right? Read.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
So when you're going through that struggle, when you're going through that trial, those tribulations, you're being patient, right? You're not crashing out, right? You're not saying F it, right? I'm gonna go do what I want to do. No, you're being patient. You're enduring. You're sitting in that fire, and you're not letting it consume you. Right? You're trusting that if I continue to do what this word says, the Most High is going to bless me. Right? He's going to show me his mercy if I endure to the end. Right? Read.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
Read.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him. Salakia. But ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Your reward shall not fail if you believe in him. Read.
Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
So all throughout this Bible, we see examples of our forefathers who called on and trusted in the Most High, and they were delivered. They were saved, right? There's never an opportunity where the righteous call unto the Most High, and he doesn't hear and answer that call, right? Read.
Verse 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sin and saveth in time of affliction.
The Most High is full of compassion and mercy, right? None of us deserve his compassion. None of us deserve his pity, right? None of us deserve to be forgiven for our sins, right? But because the Most High loves us, right, he continues to offer those things to us, right? Even though we don't deserve it. Even though we're not worthy, he continues to offer us mercy because he chose us and because he loves us above others, as the scriptures say, right? And so, that's something to keep in mind. That's something that should be humbling in of itself, right? The idea that there is, for all the evil that you've done, you probably can't do enough good works to earn, to pay off the debt of evil, not just from this life, but from all of your previous lives, right? You probably wouldn't be able to pay off that debt, right? But yet you're still given the opportunity because of the love, because of the mercy and the grace of the Most High, right? You don't deserve it, but here you are, it's still being offered to you, right? And it's basically yours to lose. So don't lose it. Read.
Verse 12. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore he shall not be defended.
Don't be fearful, right? Don't have faint hands or go two ways, right? Do be double-minded. Believe and do his ways. Trust what this Bible says. Trust what our forefathers believed, right? They believed in the Most High. They believed that they were going to be delivered. They believed that they would be blessed, that they did his will, and they were, right? They did his will, and, there are all kinds of accounts of those who were blessed by the Most High, right? Read.
14. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
What are you going to do? Like, you know how when you've offended, when you've been impatient, right? You instead of examining the whole situation, instead of just waiting and seeing how things played out, right? You decided to take it into your own hands, and you decided to make a big stink about something. And then when the truth came out, you had egg on your face. You were embarrassed because had you just waited another 30 seconds, another minute or two, right? Whatever that situation was, it would have cleared itself up without your intervention. But now, because you decided to take it upon yourself, right? Now you look like an ass. Now you look like a jerk. Now you got people looking at you sideways, like you don't know how to control yourself, right? Just be patient. What are you going to do when you lose your patience and now you have to answer to the Most High? Now you have to explain why you lost your patience, right? Well, it wasn't fair. Like what's the justification for losing your patience? There is none. All right, read.
They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
Read.
They that fear the Lord will seek that which he is well. Salakia. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well, pleasing unto him. And they that love him shall be filled with the law.
You're going to be filled with the law, right? You're going to be filled with keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments because you love him. Read.
They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy.
The Most High used the hands of men to destroy us, to punish us for our iniquity, right? And so when you fear the Most High, the thing that you take on, the understanding that you take on is that it is better to fall into the hands of the Most High, to fall under his protection and his mercy and his blessings. That is better than to fall into the hands of man and to trust man and to believe that man is going to be able to protect you, because that's never, ever been the case, right? So don't be trusting in man and these understandings that society puts forth today. This isn't wisdom. This isn't knowledge. It's not going to get you to the fear of the Most High, and it's certainly not going to get you salvation. Right? Read. That was 18?
Yeah, that was it.
Let's go to chapter 27 and verse 3.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown.
So you're trying to understand why you and your spouse can't get along in your household, why your kids don't want to listen to you. It's because you have no order. It's because you're not diligently fearing the Most High. You're not bringing the Most High into your household. You're not making it a part of your everyday life. You're not teaching your children, right? You're not being an example to your wife. You're not being an example to your husband. But you're allowing iniquity, you're allowing sin to take control and to cause confusion, to cause chaos, to cause disorder in your household. Right? That only happens when you're not diligently fearing the Most High. So anytime you're having issues in your household, you need to ask yourself an honest question: Am I diligently following the Most High? Am I diligently keeping His commandments? Am I being an example in my household? Right? Am I holding everyone accountable? These are the things that you got to ask yourself. Right? Let's go to let's jump to chapter 1 and verse 28.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 28. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart.
So if you get into a situation where you're poor, right, when you don't have the type of funds that you would like to have to do the things that you want to do, right? Don't take it upon yourself to abandon ship, right? Don't take it upon yourself to say, you know what, I gave trusting in the Most High a good chance, right? I put effort into it, and it just didn't pan out. So it's time to try something else. No, you need to double down, right? And understand that this is a trial that you're being put through. And if you endure and if you get through it, right, there are blessings on the other side. So, you know, when you're being tested, don't use that as an opportunity to jump ship. Don't use that as an opportunity to double back on your fear of the Most High, but use that as an opportunity to double down. Understand and recognize, oh, okay, this is one of those trials that the Bible is talking about. This is one of those tribulations that the scriptures were talking about. That means the Most High is still dealing with me, right? That means that I still have an opportunity for salvation. So let me double down on these scriptures. Let me double down on the will, on the fear of the Most High, right? And it's going to stabilize your life. It's going to stabilize your household, and it's going to bring order to the disorder, right? Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 27.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 27. The fear of the Lord prolongeth his, Salakia. The fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
So this is another scripture on prolonging your life, right? When lives are taken shorter than what we imagine they should be, right? A lot of times it's due to wickedness, right? It's a judgment. So the scriptures say, you know, in many places over and over again, right? You fear the Most High, and He's going to extend your day. He's going to make sure that you live a long life. And if you're doing His will, there should be some prosperity in there as well, right? So continue to do His will, and it'll prolong your days, as the scripture says, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. Oh.
And verse 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse
6 and 16.
6 and 16. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as ye tempted him in Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies and his statutes which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou may go thou may goest and possess the land, the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers.
Right.
To cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Lord has spoken.
So if you do right, if you do good, then things are going to be well with thee, right? Then you're going to get the land that was promised to our forefathers, right? Drop to chapter 28 and read 58.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 58.
So this is what happens when you don't do right, when you don't do good, right? When you don't fear the Most High. Read.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law,
Most of the words.
all of the words,
Some of the words.
all of the words,
The majority of the words.
to do all the words of this law
To do all the words of this law. Read.
that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God.
Read.
Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
Then the Lord will turn the plagues away from you, right? Read.
And the plagues of thy seed,
And the plagues of your generations. Read.
even great plagues, and the long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance.
If you turn away and don't observe these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to be destroyed, right? In many different ways, including plagues that literally destroy your body from the inside out, right? And we've seen that today, right? Throughout history, we've seen how the Most High has destroyed people through sicknesses, through disease, through basically through destroying the body from the inside out, right? This is just one of the many ways that the Most High can destroy us if we don't remember what the purpose of life is, right? What our purpose is, right? The reason why we are here is to keep the commandments. That's it. Let's go to Revelations 20 and read verse 12.
And that word in 59 is continuance, Lakia.
Khan, it's all good. Revelations 20 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. And the books were open, and another book was open, which was the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
So this is that judgment day, right? This is that judgment day where the books are going to be open, the records are going to be open, right? And you're going to have to answer for all of your works, right? Whether they're evil or whether they're good, whether they were hidden or whether they weren't, right? You're going to have to answer for all of them, right? And you're going to be judged according to your works. So you want to make sure that you've got, as you should be optimizing the amount of good works that you can do right now, today, and moving forward, right? You should be overwhelmingly doing good works, right? And that should be what you should be completely and totally focused on, is doing the will of the Most High, fearing the Most High, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 14.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 14.
Once again, read.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So like we read at the beginning of this lesson, right? The conclusion of the whole matter, or the meaning of our lives, is to fear the Most High, to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, and there's nothing else that we're supposed to be doing, right? And this is the thing. Regardless of whether we would decide to fear the Most High or not, we're not going to escape judgment. We're not going to be able to escape judgment, right? And so if you're going to be judged, regardless of what you do, then you might as well fix your mind, fix your soul, fix your spirit, fix your everything to do good, to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and fear the Most High, right? Because at the end of the day, your works are going to be revealed anyways. You're going to be judged anyways. So give yourself the best opportunity to get the kingdom, right? And with that, I say, Shalom.
If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this